Okay, no, this is not the beginnings of a stud wall back here. Basically, I am tired of going out there and sitting on that crappy old bench that I have to do any sanding or anything, any work like that. So what I'm doing now in the middle of another project is I am working on building myself just a small tool, a workbench. Something that's going to be a good height for me to sand on, or I can bring out the belt sander, set it on there, bring out my miter saw, put it on that. Something that's going to be sturdy. So with that in mind, I tend to over-engineer things a little bit. So let's go ahead and talk about it. So anyway, what I did was I went down to the hardware store, bought some 2x4s. I bought redwood because this is going to be staying outside. I cannot see myself bringing this inside in the foreseeable future. However, you could certainly get by with 2x4s if you were willing to run the risk, regular fir or pine 2x4s if you're ready to run the risk of it, having to deal with the weather or whatever. So anyway, what I have here is this little frame here. This is going to be the top. I have another one that's going to be a second shelf that's going to be sitting about 8 inches off the ground, and this is 30 inches wide by 21 inches deep, so it's going to give me plenty of workspace. Of course, I had to cut the inside pieces at 18 inches because the outside pieces are 1.5 inches wide, 2x4s, and so that gives me a solid 21. They are glued and screwed together, but for the screws, I used deck screws. Again, probably overkill, but you know what? I'm trying to make something here that's going to last me for a long time, and if I eventually bring it inside, so much the better. But for now, again, I expect this to stay outside. So anyway, I've got another one of these to knock together, and with that, I will show you my next step. So, be right back. All right, here's the next step, and you can see I've got 4 sets of legs now. And what I did was I just took some 2x4s. I cut them down to a length of 33 inches, and then again, as you can see, I face glued them together. Now, I took these out on the table saw, and I did flatten the short sides. That way, I've got a good flat gluing surface going in each direction. So when I attach these to the other framework I made, I'll get the maximum area. So anyway, like I said, I just trimmed them down a little bit. So I'm looking at 3 inches. 3 inches thick going this way, and just a hair over 3 1/4 on the long side. But really, the dimensions for these don't really matter because, again, I'm using these as just legs, and I'm not going to be I'm going to be working around their dimensions. Is basically what I'm doing. Like I said, this is just a fairly quick and dirty but sturdy build is what I'm going for. So anyway, I will come back and show you what I did for the next step. So talk to you in a bit. All right, next step. Basically, I've got the legs marked out with two spots. One, I've got a line going across them 8 inches up from the bottom, and that's where the lower frame is going to go. Then another line right there. Come on, right there. And yeah, you can see it. Another line right there, and that's just to give me some reference about where the top of it's supposed to go. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue it up, put some glue on here, and just a generous helping on the front, oops, and on the side. And it's okay if I have a little spillage, not a problem. Just make sure I've got plenty of glue on there. Then I'm going to go ahead and just set the leg in place. Grab a clamp, and no, I'm not going to just clamp this in, but the clamp is to hold it in place. There we go. While I pre-drill some screw holes. What was that? Dog just got ticked off at the cat for something. Okay, well. All right. Quick change on the bit. And washing machine sang its happy little "I'm done" song. And before I drive these in, I'm just going to grab the other clamp, and I am going to give this a tug in the opposite direction here. There we go. Just want to make sure, yep, got good. And there we go. And we're going to do the same for this one. And that is it, as simple as it is. I am going to have to put a couple of screws in on the side, so I'm going to knock that out here in just a moment. And then, of course, I got to go through on all four corners and do this. But that's pretty much it. So I'll come back and show you the next step. So right back. All right, I've got the top attached, and I went ahead and checked to make sure it was sitting square on the floor. It wasn't quite. There was one leg that was high, slightly high, so I took it outside, hit it with with the power sander for just a few seconds, came back in and checked it, and it's good to go. So anyway, the next step is to take this lower frame, and I'm going to go ahead and line this up with the pencil marks that I made previously, and it's going to be a little tricky doing it on my own, but what I'm going to do is, as I get each corner lined up, I'm going to clamp it in place, and then after I have all the corners clamped in place, I'm going to check this with my level again, because I might want to end up putting a shelf down this later on. I don't know. We'll see, but the thing is, if I'm going to put a shelf on there, I want it to be level. But anyway, put a level on there, go ahead and glue it and screw it once I'm done with that. So I will come back and show you what that looks like. So see you in a minute. Okay, there it is, final product. For the top, what I did was I grabbed some, again, just some more redwood. I could have used 2x6s or 2x8s or something like that, but I ended up getting some strips and I just put those down. However, what I did was I glued half a dozen strips up here, another half a dozen up here, but then when I attached them to the top, and as you can see, they're on there pretty sturdily, I only used one screw right here because I am concerned with the number of boards that I have. Seasonal expansion and contraction could cause those to tear themselves apart if I put them in any more securely, I guess is the word I'm looking for. Yeah, so like I said, one screw per side. So but like you just saw there, it is, I'm just lifting this by the top. There you go. It is in very, very, very sturdy. And the whole thing is extremely sturdy. I did stand on it. Not a problem at all. So I came back and I took the top and sanded it down with some 60 grit paper, and then some just touched it up with some 100 grit paper. I'm not looking for a perfectly smooth surface, but as you can see here, overall it's pretty good. And when I go all the way down, you can see that overall it's a pretty flat surface. This is not a working, glue up panel type surface or anything. This is just something I can come out, I can put my sander on, my miter saw on, do some sanding on. In other words, where I don't have to do it inside, or I don't have to sit on that nasty old bench that you see back there. But anyway, you may also notice the color difference between the top and the base, and that's because I finished the base with teak oil. It's going to give it a good outdoor protection, because it's going to be sitting right there. And yeah, I'm not planning on taking this in and out. And even though I have a little bit of overhead cover, it's it's still going to be pretty exposed to the elements. So I did want to have that. So anyway, next thing I need to do is rub in this teak oil, and then that's it. It'll be ready to use. So hope you enjoyed this. Hope you found this useful. I know it's a small workbench, but the size will definitely scale up to something larger. And you don't have to use redwood. You can just use regular pine. But like I said, it's going to be sitting outside, exposed to the elements. I want something that's going to last for a while. So with that, I will talk to you later. Bye.